Joining us now is the host of Facing South Florida, Jim DeFede. And Jim, it sure did not take long for this race to get nasty. What can we expect moving forward?
I think more of this. There's so much at stake in this race that you're going to see the gloves off from the very first minutes, as we said already. Look, Ron DeSantis is a smart enough guy to know better than to throw language around like he did. You know, whether he intended it to be taken that way or not, he's smart enough not to be doing this. Those are the kind of mistakes that will cost him and can continue to cost him as he becomes more and more identifiable, not just with Trump, but the worst elements of Donald Trump.
And on day one, after his nomination, day one as the nominee. So what were some of the factors that helped Gillum in this upset that a lot of people weren't expecting?
Look, I think if you could really bring it down to sort of two major reasons as to why Andrew Gillum surprised folks. One, progressives around the country sort of viewed this race and what was happening in Florida as a way to sort of make their case for 2020 as to the type of candidate they want to run against Donald Trump. So they poured some resources in here. Granted, Andrew Gillum did not have the money or resources that Jeff Green and Phil Levine and Gwen Graham had, but he did have the support of folks like Tom Steyer and George Soros. And the late coming in of Bernie Sanders to campaign and rally with him, I think that was key. The other thing was, no negative ads were run against Andrew Gillum. We saw a ton of negative ads run against every other Democrat but Andrew Gillum. And I think that was for two reasons. One, they didn't want to punch down. Andrew Gillum was finishing third or fourth in most of the polls. And the second thing is, I think a lot of those candidates made the calculation that they didn't want to attack an African-American candidate because it would cost them in November if they won the nomination with African-American voters. They were looking ahead. Andrew Gillum kept his eye right there on this race, and as a result, he won it.
And Jim, this high voter turnout in a primary is a sign of what to expect for the general election?
I'll quote my friend Mark Caputo, we're going to see a blue wave and a red tide. I think you're seeing all of this coming into play here. Republican voters were way up in this race, and Democratic voters turned out at even higher numbers. This is a foreshadowing of what November is going to be like. There is so much at stake in this election that you're going to see high turnout, and the base of each party is going to turn out. This is no longer a fight for the center. This is a fight for both ends of the party spectrum.
All right, Jim, this has just started. Thank you very much. We'll keep talking about it, that's for sure.